The resignation of Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba comes after his ruling LDP party and their coalition partners lost their majority in upper house elections. The result reflected a...
I met with the dudes in Japan that played a big role in this happening, in this collapse of the LDP happening, and they saw zero benefits to their coverage. If you remember, the newspaper of the Japanese Communist Party did insane investigative reporting on the LDP's corruption, and then they literally lost seats in this last election. So that it's entanglements with the what's the name of the fucking Korean church? Like they're not looking too hot right now. Also, Japan has had its own version of like American style weirdos, the Unification Church. Japan has also had its own American style fucking weirdos hit this like super anti-immigration attitudes as well, and they've gained a lot of seats. They've gained a lot of prominence, even though they are laughable losers. Another group that we also saw when I was in Japan, Sanseido, with the orange flags. If you remember, I think it was on Will's stream when we were walking around and we saw we went up to a political rally.
General dissatisfaction with the existing political establishment and its inability to tackle the cost of living crisis and wage levels.
I think the result was as expected. LDP and Komeito clearly did not have an understanding of the public's needs.
Right now we have to strive to survive. I don't think the public can expect anything from the government.
Ishiba had also faced a difficult balancing act in trade talks with the United States, trying to maintain good relations across the Pacific without looking weak in the face of US demands. In spite of claiming the recent trade deal with Washington a success, his reputation was further damaged, fueling speculation about an early departure. Ishiba rose to Japan's top political job on his fifth attempt last year, with a strong emphasis on national...
They recently held a neo-Nazi style march in Tokyo, by the way, anti-immigrant march, yeah. The Japanese anti-immigrant marches are so funny because, like, while they do rely on an international consortium of fascists, and one of the main guys in Sanseido is literally like an American dude, their goals are as anti-immigrant, as the anti-immigrant voice in the Japanese diet, however you say it, is literally about anti-white racism as well. They do not want white guys in Japan as well. I just want to point that out. They're not, when a Japanese xenophobe is talking, they are not, like, they're not pro-white migration. A lot of Westerners don't understand this. Obviously, most of their anger and most of their fear revolves around whether or not they're surrounded by secret Koreans or, even worse, the secret Chinese, okay? But they also don't want any gaijin whatsoever. Like, they don't want white people either, okay? So make no mistake, when Japanese people are talking about, like, anti-immigrant protests and being xenophobic, they're talking about white people too. They do not fuck with white people in Japan. I need you to understand something. So it's always funny when those like weird like fake Japanese Westerners like that present themselves as Japanese on Twitter, when they talk about like the Sanseido protests and how awesome they are. They're like, bro, they're talking about you, dipshit. They don't want you either. To be fair to them, you are the one guy they understandably don't want in the country because you suck. Anyway, there's a lot of misinfo. Remember, Twitter, for the record, I do need to point something out here. Twitter in the United States of America is not as prominent as a social media platform even before the Elon Musk takeover. Twitter, on the other hand, is an incredibly important social media platform for Japanese politics and Japanese discourse in general. 20% of the public, I believe, or is it higher than that? Like an insane number of the Japanese population uses Twitter. So, of course, Elon Musk's takeover has probably reflected poorly for Japanese political discourse because they still very much use Twitter. And there is so much misinformation about Japanese politics on Twitter. Jeffrey Hall reports, popular English language accounts are repeating a completely false claim that Prime Minister Ishiba planned to import millions of African/Kurdish/Muslim immigrants. The community note system isn't correcting these false posts, and the owner of this site seems to believe them. Yeah, Sansaido hates the Kurdish refugees. That's right. Which is interesting because it's not like there's a ginormous amount of Kurdish people living in Japan, or Turkish people as well. It's not a massive, it is not a massive amount of Kurdish or Turkish people at all. And I have this suspicion. I'm gonna keep it a $1.50 with you. I have this sneaking suspicion that like a lot of this kind of attitude, a lot of these kinds of attitudes are unironically coming from like Westerners. Okay. I think it's coming from Westerners because that type of shit, maybe with the exception of the Kurds, but like Muslims and Africans are coming to Japan. Like that's not like a Japanese style racism. Okay. That's not a Japanese, that's like not the normal Japanese style racism. Now it might become that way, right? It's the same with like anti-trans panic and anti-trans sentiments. This is, in my opinion, Western brain rot being imported. Or not imported, sorry. Western brain rot being exported. Okay? I think that they are slowly but surely changing Japanese politics to reflect the same kind of like weird enmity that exists in Western countries. Because Japanese xenophobes don't like single out black people. They don't just think like, oh, black people are coming or Indians are coming or anything like that. That's like a Western thing. They hate all foreigners. And they also especially hate foreigners that are coming from Korea and also China. So they're not like, they don't think like, oh, it's great when white people come here. No, like this is so hard for a lot of Americans to understand when I describe this. Like all of those videos that go viral in Japan, for example, of foreigners like are fucking up the country. Those are white people. They're usually talking about white people. When they say like the barbaric foreigners are coming in and disrupting the social fabric in Japan, they're not just like talking about like Indian people or black people. They're talking about white people, bro. And these dumb fucks don't understand that, I think. Now, of course, this is a silly point of contention anyway, because, the lack of migration into the island has unironically caused their population to collapse. It's literally killing them. It's not a joke. They are killing themselves because of their xenophobia. So, good luck to Japan in general with more and more xenophobic sentiment growing in the country. It's always been. It's always been there, but it's seemingly growing even more now. So, but Japan don't fuck with white people as they see it as their master. No, that's not true. Japan's Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, Ian Miles Wrong is at it again too, wants to import millions of Africans and Kurds because he believes Christian faith demands him to make Japan tolerant. Japan will laugh, cry, and sweat together with the people of Africa. I can't believe I saw this happen in real time. And it started with my coverage of Ghost of Yote. That's where I recognized this trend. You remember, if you guys recall, I talked about how when Ghost of Yote came out, like, or was announced, or not Ghost of Yote, sorry, was Assassin's Creed, not Ghost of Yote. No, it was Assassin's Creed. I'm